Never fails. Somebody always calling to knock me off. My phone ring. Phone don't ring all day long. As soon as I get ready to do a program, here comes somebody calling, messing me up. So here's the gold that I was trying to show y'all before. And this is the yellow gold, which I don't like at all. But they put it in here because different people like different things. I just moved the camera back so I can. And I think in this one they give you 3 or 4 of the same ones. So this one is 20 sheets in this one at 12 by 12. And I think they give you 3 or 4 of the same ones. It must be 1, 2, 3, 4. So they give you 4 of the same one of the same colors. Which you can see I used my bronze and my gold. And this brown right here is pretty too. This is pretty. Hi, Brenda. No, this is not vinyl. This is cardstock. This is cardstock. It's so pretty. The colors are so rich. And I got these from Michael's. The colors are so rich. As you can see, it had black in here too, but I used the black. Well, this is the black one right here. And I used the black. But the colors are very, very vibrant. I just don't like yellow gold. I don't like yellow gold. Yellow gold is just too much. This is the other one that I had gotten. I've had these for about a year. At least I know I got them last year. Let's say it that way. Because I was making earrings with these patterns. I think I did one video with these colors. I like animal print. So, here you go. These are the ones that I was using for my earrings that I was making last year. And here you go. These colors are really, really pretty. So I don't know who the people are that make these colors, but they really are. I love these. I just haven't found anything to do with these yet as far as what else to use them for. Because like I said, I got them to make earrings. Look at this. Look at that. It's like a giraffe, right? I'm not going to go through all of these, but it's just an idea. I got these from Michael's. And again, when I got them, they were having half off sale on these. Because these cost $20 a book. I like this pattern too. This one is dark, so I don't even know why that's in here. This looks like leather. But this is all cardstock. So they give you a good variety of colors and patterns. And they look leather. I like this one. I was trying to make earrings out of this one, but I couldn't block it off the way I wanted to make it look like an earring. So, but I see now what I could have done, but I'm not doing earrings right now. This is have a lot of words on it for in case you do scrapbooking. That's what these basically are for, scrapbooking. And I love this one right here. What? I love that. This looks like hair. This looks like hair. I don't know why anybody would do that, but they just have awesome colors. Stay wild. Like if you, this is good. These are good scrapbooking papers because that's what they really are. But again, I don't use things for their traditional, the traditional reasons why they were made. So now this is, I just got this. I got the next 3 that I'm showing you. I got this. This is basically like the other one I showed you with the dark colors, but I had to get it again because I had used up the silver, I had used up the gold except for one piece, and you get 4 pieces here. And this is silver, that's the yellow gold, that's the brown, and that's the black that I had used all up. So I had to get another book of that. And then you have this color here. These colors, as you can tell, I just like glitter. And look at that. Oh, that looks like a mermaid. Isn't that pretty? That's that green, and then they have another one. They're very similar in color, but they are different. And you get 4 of each, and this is the yellow gold, which I'm not too enthralled with. Fuchsia, purple, and blue. These colors are beautiful. And again, I have something in mind to do with these that has nothing to do with scrapbooking. And these are watercolors. Ombre Brights. Ombre Brights. All of them are 12 by 12. You get 48 sheets in here. And it's 24 designs. So you get 2 designs per. And they have this. Let me see if I can get this tape off of here. Okay. So I'm trying to lay this one down and do this. Hey, honey. So look at this. It's ombre, so it's white, and then the color graduates. Then you have the green. Can you all see these? Because these colors are nice. That's the green. And you have the pink. Pretty. Yellow. Red. Purple. Peach. They have the ombre going the opposite way now. From the top. So they just did it the opposite way. They just have, these colors are, oh, look at that. That's purple. I likey. I likey. So they just have different colors. And I really like this because, look at that one. Look at that one. Look how that came out. Just pretty. Of course, I have something else in mind to use these for other than what they were intended. These are scrapbooking cardstock. All of this is cardstock. And they had many more with different designs on it. But for what I want to use them for, the design factor is not what I need. So some of you are on there now that weren't here. Hey, Minda. Again. Ashley. These, some of y'all didn't see this because y'all wasn't on the other one before I got cut off. So these are like fake ice cubes, but they're fillers. I love these. These are so cute. But I got them to use as feet. Like if I want to build up something because I'm tired of those little tower blocks. But I probably am going to use these for something else. And I got these to use for feet. Which again, I'm probably going to use these for something else as well. You know, if I want to use them as risers for my trays or whatever, I can put them together like this. This is Rhonda's favorite way. Or I can put them together like this. Or I can put them together like this. Or I don't have to put them together at all. I just use them just for a little lift. Of course, I would paint them because these are regular, just wood. So I wouldn't leave them like that. And I got some of these fillers as well, because I have a project for this too. Now, sometimes y'all hear me say I have a project, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But I really can't do anything in particular unless I'm inspired to do it. Because if I do it and it's not the right time or I don't really feel inspired to do it, it's going to be a problem. Oh, and I'm going to show you guys this. Menda saw these. I'm going to have to put Do Not Disturb on my phone. I don't know if you can go online when you have Do Not Disturb. These little beauties right here came in a box of 12. I got these in the wedding aisle. And when I tell you these are adorable, now I took them off, I took this lid off before. My fingers don't want to work. But look at this. Look at this lid. It's vacuum sealed. I love this. Look at these. These look like apothecary jars that people use in the bathrooms to put their Q-tips and cotton balls and stuff in. These are just so adorable. I already have in mind what I'm going to do with these. Pop it back in there. Came in a box of 12 in the wedding aisle. Y'all, when I tell y'all I walked through the whole store on purpose because I had taken somebody, my brother and his sister-in-law, to the store. They were in the grocery store and I was in Michael's. And this is what I got. I love these little jars. Of course, my husband got one for me really quickly. I want one. I want one. No, he actually said he wanted two. He said he wanted two, but I was like, well, you better get somewhere. He said, hello, roomies. Brenda said, I have to be inspired too. Exactly, because I will mess something up if I don't be inspired. Yeah, and these little jars, they are so adorable. So when I got to the counter, you know, Michael's took over AC Moore here in Philadelphia. They took over most of them. So where the AC Moore was, they put the Michaels at. And I got there, and they usually, no, you're not getting the other one. Get your life together. The other, they used to have 40% coupons, and the 40% coupon, 40% off, they didn't have them. They had 20% off. But as God would have it for my life, I got 20% off plus another 10 for the whole purchase, and I was happy. So the little bit of money I got from taking my brother to the store, I used that at Michael's, plus a couple of dollars of my own, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So, what was I going to say? Amanda said, take my time. I'm going to take my time. So, y'all remember, those of you that was on that program that night when I was talking about the, when the Lord had me give my testimony, and I was talking about, I'm not going to keep up with the Joneses. We're not doing all of that. We're going to do what God told me to do. Yada, yada. So I had told y'all I wanted to get an embroidery machine. And I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to get an embroidery machine because if that's not what the Lord told me to do, then I'm not going to do it. Yada, yada, whatever. I think that was Wednesday when we had that talk. Lo and behold, the next day, I was talking to my sister-in-law. We went to go see my mother-in-law. And as I was talking to my sister-in-law on the phone, she said, guess what? I said, what? She said, my girlfriend just bought me over an embroidery machine. Do you want it? She said, do you want it? Because she's getting ready to take it to the Goodwill. Now, this embroidery machine is old. It's a PE 150. I think it's about 20 years old. But when I was talking to my craft sister, Cynthia, she said it's the perfect machine for a beginner like myself. So I said, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Lord, you got jokes, right? I went through this whole testimony thing about how God was for you, and you don't got to try to keep up with the Joneses, and you, this, that, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. And the next day, my sister-in-law said, my girlfriend brought me over this embroidery machine, and she was going to take it to the Goodwill. Do you want it? And it is new to me. The point is, I don't care that it's old. The point is that I gave y'all this whole speech about I'm not buying a daggone embroidery machine because that's not what I'm going to do. And here the opportunity came the next day. I was like, well, you want to know what? Yes, I want it. Because my sister-in-law got a Cricut machine that's still in the box. So I know she's not using the Cricut machine. She's not going to use that. So I was like, yeah, I want it. And it's still, I took it out. It took me 2 days to take it out the box. So I took it out the box. It's sitting on my table with my sewing machine. And I plugged it into the cord, but I didn't plug it into the wall yet. So I don't even know if it works. I'm sure it works. But I'm just looking at it like, wow, unbelievable that I was just talking about that. And then here my sister-in-law comes telling me somebody gave her an embroidery machine. She was getting ready to take it to the Goodwill. Anywho, y'all, that's just my testimony right now. It's just too funny. That was funny. I was like, God, you got jokes. So this is what I want to show y'all tonight. The heart molds. Now, these did not come from Michael's. These came from Amazon. I told y'all most of my molds I get are from Amazon, and I yet have another mold that I'm waiting for. It's another head, and they said it's a woman's head, but Rhonda and I were looking at it. That looked like a dude, but I don't. That's supposed to be coming between the 14th and the 26th or something like that. But this is the heart mold, and this actually is one piece on the mold, but it's two pieces. So this is the heart, and this is the stand. Now I went on YouTube to see if I saw anybody doing this. I saw one man after I ordered it. I saw one man doing this, one man. So I was like, oh, this is a good thing. So it's actually one piece on the mold, but it's two separate pieces. So this is the large one, and this is the small one. Amazon. And again, it's one piece, but it's two pieces. Now, what I did was this morning, I actually used it and made a heart, and I was just messing around. I made a heart, and I just want to show you the size. This is the small one. I did not do the bottom part because I hadn't mixed up enough epoxy, and I just didn't feel like doing it at all. Hi, Shibi. So this is the small one, but I didn't do the bottom. And let me just show you the thickness. Oh, now they say I'm not. Okay, anyway. So, look how thick that is. So it's not flimsy at all. It's really a nice thickness to it. And I was just playing around. Using mica powder and paint and stuff. The paint seeped through it, though. The paint, I don't know why the paint seeped through it, but it did. Okay. I was just messing around, so don't judge me. Now, let me show you the beast. I'm going to show you the beast. And again, remember, it's two pieces. So, and these are still not dry, but look how thick. Look how thick that is. That is thick. So you're not getting a flimsy piece of, you're not getting a flimsy heart. This thing is thick. You can knock somebody out with this. Ah, bam. Be your little weapon. Okay, you see how thick it is? This is, whoa, baby. Now, so this is the mold. You see how thick that mold is? That's the mold, and that's the heart. Okay? Big, right? I know I just busted myself in the head. This is the part that holds it up. You know how many different things you can do with this? First thing it reminded me of, like, I was sitting on somebody's desk, like desk of Lady T. They look like two pyramids, right? You could do a lot. This is the bottom. And this sits in here, like this, and actually holds it up. So it sits on its own. I'm going to set it up because I can't do it in my hand. Let me show you. Can y'all see that? See, that's the stand. That's the heart, and that's the stand. Tell me that's not awesome. Set it right in there, and it sits there. That's not, tell me that's not awesome. That's a great deal, and it didn't even cost that much. It really didn't even cost that much. Don't ask me how much it cost. I can go back and put the link in there, but it didn't cost that much at all. I think this is just great. I don't know who comes up with these ideas, but whoever they are, I just love them. Because they come up with these. You could always just not fill the mold completely. Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, some of them I'm going to fill them halfway, and then I'm going to put a picture on them. or I'm going to put something else on them, whatever comes to mind at the time. Excuse me. Actually, with this heart, if you look at this small one, you can see that I actually did fill this one halfway. Look at the thickness of this mold and look at the thickness of this heart. I actually did fill that one halfway because I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm just practicing. I'm not going to fill this up. That's why I didn't fill it up, and that's why I didn't do the bottom. But you have control over how thick you want your heart to be. So it doesn't have to be as thick as this big mama jama over here. It could be as big or as small as, you know, as thick or as thin as you want it to be. If you want to put pictures on there, you can fill it up halfway and then let it dry and then put the picture on there and then fill it all the way up like that. So it's completely up to you how thick you want it to be. And when I was doing that, I just didn't want to waste any more epoxy, so I was like, forget that. And that's why I did it like that. But with you guys on the line tonight, I'm going to fill them up. I'm going to do one with mica powder. I'm going to do one with alcohol ink. And these molds are really nice quality. Now, I poured these molds this morning, and I poured them on purpose because I said, I want to be able to show y'all something, you know, at least give you a sample of what they look like. And I filled them up this morning. I was supposed to go out today, and I couldn't go because I felt ill. But this is what they are. I actually love that the big one, I filled it up, and I like the thickness of it. But like I gave you could use that joint as a weapon if somebody want to bother you. But the Bible just says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. But you know you got to protect yourself out here in the streets. So I just might put that in my car and somebody bother me and be like, what? It's like, I'm just playing. Low key, I'm not. So, let's get our materials, darling. Now, you all can start telling me what colors we're using tonight. Chibi said, also, you might want to make the stand a solid color so it doesn't draw attention from the heart. Well, we're going to be doing all kinds of things with these. We're going to do clear. We're going to do other stuff with it. It's going to, hey, creative mom. How you doing? We're going to be doing, you know, different things. These, what I like about being a crafter, your mind just keeps going on and on and on and on, and you never know what you're going to come up with as a crafter. These type of things give you unlimited potential to do all types of things. When I sit back and I look, and sometimes I get on my own nerves when here I go, I'm buying something else. I got another mold. I have so many molds here, it's ridiculous. This is the clock mold. Remember I showed y'all this last week? And I still haven't shown this. I mean, done anything. I haven't done anything with this yet. It's just sitting here because I don't know what, my brain got stuck on this. So I don't really know what to do with it. I'm probably just going to pour it clear and then give it to my husband. Because his favorite color is blue. So I'm probably going to pour this. And like I said, I do have the parts that go with the clock. And all of this came from Amazon. This was a 4-piece set. It came with this one, a Roman numeral one, a weird one. Where is it? Because I said I was going to hang that one in my bathroom. It must have fell. And then it has the zodiac sign one. Excuse me, y'all. I wanted this one and the Roman numeral one. But either I would give this one to my husband or I'll do the other one, the Roman numerals. But when I do the Roman numerals, I'm going to do it on live with y'all. But guess what? When you're filling up these cavities here, it's not as easy as it looks. Okay? I was watching somebody on YouTube do it, and she made it look so easy, but it wasn't, because you have to go back and you have to wipe them. Like when you pour the whatever you're using to put in the cavities, you have to you have to be very careful because usually the cavities aren't that deep, really. But when you pour it, because they're so shallow, the whatever you're using in there comes out. You got to have your diaper wipe so you can wipe them out. Can you wipe it and wipe it and wipe it? And this one wore me out, so that's why it's still sitting there for real. But I wanted to put something in the middle of it, but it is what it is. So that was that one. This is the Roman numeral one. I don't know if you guys can see that one. This is the Roman numeral one, and I love this because, again, you have to go through the same process, but I messed it up right here. And so I feel like I can't use it because I messed it up. Unless I get a little bit more creative and put something in there to use it. But I made this one purposely because my sister and I sell paparazzi jewelry. And I always say, what time is it? It's paparazzi time. So now I have my little clock, clockety clock for paparazzi. I just thought that was a cute idea. So I'm going to have to make this one over. And they don't take that much epoxy. If you can see how thin that is, it doesn't. But the numbers are raised. You could actually feel the numbers. They are raised. And again, you have to be very careful when you're doing these because it's a little time consuming. But if you want to do it, you can do it. It's no problem. And then with this little sticker that I made this with sticker paper, and I put Mod Podge on it and glued and poured the epoxy on there, and that's what it came out. And these are really cute. If you want, they're small, so if you want to make one for somebody so they can put it on their desk at work, or maybe somebody will put it on their bedside table, or just use it as a novelty piece. You know, you can get the parts that go with it. I have all the mechanics, the mechanisms for that. I got 5 in a box on Amazon. So this is something else that can be done, you know, as a novelty piece or whatever. So that's 2 of the molds. I did make another one, but I don't currently see it, so I don't know what happened to it. It's around here somewhere, y'all. Don't pay me no mind. Oh, let me show y'all this. I got this little mold. I thought it was bigger than this from Etsy. But if you can see this, this has a part in here where you can decorate the earring. So this is a little coaster too. I didn't decorate the earring because I didn't know what color I wanted it to be, so I left her on the side. There's a little coaster right there. Anything else? So that's what's been going on with me. Now, so now this is the white resin, alcohol ink. This is the glitter. I want to try this too. Remember that glitter that I made those last ones with? That's what this is. That's some good glitter too. That glitter is on point. What? These are the holiday, the Easter color inks right here. So now y'all can tell me what colors we're using tonight. What color are we using? Because I don't know. So this one we're going to do alcohol ink. The first one we're going to do alcohol ink. I'm going to do the big one with alcohol ink and the little one with mica powder. How y'all feel about that? How do you feel about that? Y'all don't care what I do. I can't keep my desk clean. And this right here, and I tried to rotate my phone and it said rotate was locked. And I don't know how to unlock it. Anyway, so this is a butane lighter. Isn't this cute? It's orange. So I had 2 butane lighters, right? And the other day when I was making something, instead of me moving the stuff out the way, my other butane lighter fell in my mold. I think I was on live when that happened. And I hollered just because that fell in the mold. First my hair fell in the mold. Then that fell in the mold. No, I need to get it together. I need to just get it together. I told you I was scared to tell Rhonda because I thought she was going to be mad. But you can't even tell. You can't even really tell that my hair fell in there. And I had to cut my hair. Like, what? What? Who does that? Teresa? Nobody but Teresa. That's who does it. So, as y'all know, I got these new cups, right? And what kind of phone you got? I have an Apple. Glitter usually sinks to the bottom of the mold. Glitter usually sinks so the bottom of the mold would be the front. You're right. What I'm going to do is definitely needs low viscosity resin. What's low viscosity? I don't know. So I have this cup. This one is 1 cup, I think. Child, don't give me the lion. This is 2 cups, I know that. And this is 4 cups. So I'm just going to use this one because I'm going to be doing the 2 molds. And these are nice, but if you have problems with your hands, like if you have problem with gripping sometimes, these can be a little bit tricky if you have problems with gripping. And I just wanted to point that out. So I'm going to use the big boy right here. I'm going to use the big boy. And I'm going to use my sticks to stir. And I need my big'em stick right here. My spatula. These still have stuff on them. I don't know why, and I just washed them. Unless I didn't wash them too well. Use this big spatula here. Mica powder, ink, glitter. No, this is the glitter. So I have the apple, and I don't know how to change the direction on it. Now, y'all know what would be cute? It would be cute if we put some of these in the little one, huh? See how that turns out. That would be cute. What you think? Use these? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Yay or nay? Y'all need to talk back to me before I start singing, and dancing. Alright, enough. Enough, Teresa. Enough. Thinner resin. Most 1-to-1 ratio resins are medium. Oh, so I need to look up something that says low velocity. Viscosity. This lady, she does this, she has her shows called, pouring your heart out, I think. Pouring your heart out. This lady, she's in another country. But let me tell you, this lady is the bomb diggity. When I saw her doing her stuff, I was like, ooh. And you talking about some beautiful stuff. Y'all should go check her out. She don't know I'm talking about her because she don't even know I'm subscribed to her, I guess. You know, when people get thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers, they don't subscribe back. I don't know why. They don't subscribe to us little YouTubers. So I'm going to pour this to 1.5. So this is going to make 3. 1.5 and 1.5 makes 3. Am I right about it? Am I right? Am I right, y'all? 1.5 and 1.5 make 3? Of course I'm right. Okay. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. here comes the boring part. So, since I'm going to stir, let's have a little story time. So, you know, you guys, the last time we were on and I gave my testimony and this, that, and the third, and I thought about it. I was like, yo, why did I tell them all of that? But that's what the Lord wanted me to tell y'all, so it is what it is. But, facts about me. If y'all have any questions that you want to ask me, just write them in here, because this will be a good question to answer for me. Chibi says, yeah, I'm subscribed to her. Just watched her latest resin tray video this morning. She does awesome work and fun. She does. When I first started looking at her, though, she was acting like she didn't know what she was doing. And come to find out, that lady was doing all kind of stuff. And she actually orders her own. She designs molds and has someone make them for her. And her molds are very pricey. But her molds are super duper 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 big. I mean, large. Her molds are so large. It's like, dang, lady. But the stuff that she does is just beautiful. Pour it out your heart or pouring your heart out. Something like that. She is awesome. I thought she was a newbie when I first started looking at her because she acted like she didn't know what she was doing. But baby, when I tell you, I wanted to try one of the ones that she did to make it look like a flower, where you put the resin in a plastic bag like you piping a cake. And she piped that thing, honey, baby child. I went and got me some bags, and the bags are still sitting there. They sitting there. Like, are you going to try it? I intend to try. Listen, when I say I'm going to try something, I intend to try a lot of stuff. But then I get caught up doing something else, and I forget about what I intended to do. And I start doing something else, and then I fall in love with doing that. And then I forget about what I intended to do, and then it's a problem. That's not a problem, because when I go back to it, it's still there, so I can do it. And then I was looking at Dazzling Designs by Denise. I looked at her today. Oh, child. And you know, when I looked at her, I had to think about Joyce McTeer, because Joyce McTeer makes jewelry. And Joyce McTeer made some earrings out of clothespins. So when I was looking at Dazzling Designs by Denise today, that lady made 3 wall pieces using clothespins. I was done. I was done. When I tell you I was done, I was done. And I told her I'm going to dupe that one. She already know. Yep. It's because she always experienced and never knows for sure how it will turn out. And that's why I thought she was a newbie. But I see that she does that in most of her things that she does. This lady spends a lot of money on different resins and the molds that she gets made. So what she charges for us to make those, you know, to purchase her molds, listen, it's worth it. Her molds, they are gorgeous. They are so big, though. I'm talking about, what? Now, y'all see how it's getting clear? And I'm trying not to do it real fast because I don't want so many bubbles. But again, when you put the alcohol ink in it, the bubbles pop. But you still want to get you a little fire starter so you don't make any mistakes with the bubbles. Alright, y'all. So now I have this. What y'all think? Y'all think we should put some of these in there? That would be cute, wouldn't it? I would have to do a layer, though, and then let it harden. And then put that in there because it'll sink all the way to the bottom. Just like the glitter. So we got to make up our mind. What we're going to do, y'all? What we're going to do? So I want to use this glitter. Did I show y'all these popping colors? And again, Miss Rhonda, I hope I can record with her tomorrow. But she be thinking she has the lock on my colors over here. She want me to make her something with this gold, and she going to try to hide it. With the gold. She going to try to hide it. I was like, see. She tried to hide it. She is funny. When she get her mind set on something, she is funny. So, y'all know I'm hooked on this orange, but I will not use the orange tonight, okay? Y'all want to do silver? Because y'all know I have that silver glitter. But let's try something different. Because I get stuck with using the same colors because it's comfortable. So what color should I use, you all? Can y'all talk to me? Don't let me make this decision by myself because y'all know I'm going to go right back to what I usually do. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pour the resin into the big mold. Let's do it. And a 1 and a 2. Pour your heart out. Now what colors do we want to use? Now I just did that one halfway. Was more than halfway. Because y'all didn't tell me what y'all want to do. And I don't know how this glitter got in here. But we're going to pour this. And then we're going to pour this side. And the twain have met. Now they're married. They are now connected forever and ever and ever. Amen. Okay. So, I looked up changing the orientation of your phone. It said to go to the control center, tap portrait. Oh. Okay, I'll do that the next time because I'm scared if I touch it now, I'm probably going to cut y'all off. And I don't want to do that. Okay, so where's my alcohol ink? Here is my alcohol ink. Thank you so much, Shibi, for looking that up, though. That was very nice of you to do that. She did that, y'all. Now, if y'all can't see, so I got this in the way. This has a million bubbles in it. So I just want to pop these bubbles real quick. Notice when I do that, though, I'm not holding the heat on it over it too long, because you don't want to burn it, and you can burn it. Trust me, I've burnt it before. That's why I know. Okay, y'all not helping me with colors. Y'all not helping me with colors. So I'm just gonna pick colors then, since we're not talking. That's pink. I don't know. I might like to go to my other colors. Ashley, you still on there? See, y'all might want to help me pick out some colors, because I might say, you know what? Since y'all picked out colors, I just might send it to you. I don't know. I'm trying to make y'all feel guilty right now. I'm trying to make y'all feel guilty. Alright, y'all. What colors we using up in this piece today? Gerald, are you on there? What colors? Y'all are making me think too hard. Let's see. Alright, y'all. Y'all not talking to me? Okay. Y'all just want to see the artists at work. We can do that too. My husband said red and yellow. It sounded like the beginning of the Captain Kangaroo. Was it Captain Noah? Captain Noah. Red and yellow and pink and green, purple and orange and whoever that was when we were chillin'. Y'all remember that? He said yellow and red and yellow. You're welcome. My screen name literally means little sweetheart. I'll always pick a blue-green color. Pretty much any shade. Blue-green, yeah. I know if Minda was still on here, she would say blue because that's her favorite color. I'm surprised my husband said yellow, because my husband's favorite color is blue. So pour it. I'm gonna pour it in the bottom too. Look at that yellow, Gerald. That's a cute color. And you said red. These colors look so much alike, I can't see. This is red. Look how that yellow just popped. It just did what it wanted to do. Y'all get sick of me saying that. I know y'all do. That means little sweetheart. That is too cute. Little sweetheart. Boy, you a big sweetheart. Okay, you're a little sweetheart. Look, y'all. That's the only color you want is yellow and red. Now, if you want to save on resin, you don't have to fill this thing all the way up. Let me tell y'all what I saw. I saw somebody doing, she was doing a diva head, and I don't remember what her name is, but she was doing it. She was doing purple, lavender. She was using purple and lavender colors, and when I tell you, she took her white and she just sprayed it in there all over like no rhyme or reason. And I was horrified. I was like, why would she do that? But it turned out. Show did. I was like, whoop. She was bold. She was bold with it too. She was just pouring it in there like she ain't had nothing else to do. I was like, yo, I don't know about doing all of that. But baby, when I tell you she did, my cat is trying to get in the room because I closed the door. But she can stay right out there because I got too much stuff on this floor that fell. Aquamarine, turquoise, teal. I'm a March baby and a Pisces, so watercolors are my jam. Okay. Okay now. Do y'all, I was going to give y'all story time, I forgot. Do y'all really believe in those signs? Like, do y'all really, like, do they really match you? Because, you know, I don't really get into that stuff, but I used to, and I used to read the horoscopes every day, and I used to be, like, on it. But I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not into them, but I'm going to tell you this. My birthday's in May. I'm the beginning of May. I'm a Taurus. And baby, when I tell you, when I read the description about the Taurus, they was talking about me. They didn't lie. They didn't lie one time. They was talking straight about me. And to me, it was amazing because they don't know me. And the things that they were saying, I was like, yo. But they were correct. And what they were saying, I was like, how do these people know these things? But I used to blame my mama, and then I saw the horoscope. I was like, ooh, sound like Mr. Jed Clampett. You know how he said, ooh, well, doggy. Can y'all see that? Ashley's song is playing around in my head right now. So y'all know I just like to do stuff like this. And y'all know for a fact that when you do that, it's not going to stay. However, this reminds me of the Brady Bunch. Look at these colors. It reminds me of, not the Brady Bunch, the Partridge Family. You know how the Partridge Family would come on and they had that bus with all those colors? Look at this. Oh, this is so... Ooh, can y'all see that? Ooh. Look at... Ooh, I love that. Ooh. Now that is hot. Look at that. That's hot. Can y'all see that? Look at that. Look at that. I like that. Psychedelic, man. Psychedelic. Let's see if it's going to stay like that. But a Scorpio in the house. Right, I don't read the horoscopes either, but the descriptions, they be on point now. I ain't going to lie. They be on point. And I'd be like, who told y'all that? How do y'all wind up knowing this? And then, especially if you've never read the horoscopes before, and then you go back and you look at it, you be like, oh, snap. That really is. They describe me to a T. The bull. That's me. Look at that. Look how that came out. And my husband, from the description of Scorpio, Child Boo. Yes, I said Child Boo. He matches that description, doggone it. And y'all pray for his mom. His mom's in the hospital. She fell. But thank God she doesn't have a concussion. She doesn't have a concussion. They did a CAT scan. She's good with that. So they want to check her balance and stuff and find out why she keep falling. So y'all pray for my husband too, because you know, ain't no love like a mother's love. I think I like this. I think I like that. I do. That's so cute. I thought yellow and red made green though. You know, when I look at these kind of things, when I look at this kind of stuff makes me really think about God a lot, because when you think about your body and you think about the intricate design of the body, it's like, God, you just really put a lot of thought into us, because he made us eyes so we could see. He didn't have to do that. He made us a nose and a mouth so we can breathe. He didn't have to do that. He made ears so we can hear. He didn't have to do that. Because God could have just made us anything. He could have made us anything. But he chose to make this in just the different parts. You think about the insides of your body and how he just made our bodies. How can you not believe that there's a God? I just don't understand when people say they don't believe there's a God. I don't understand. I don't know. I just don't understand how you can say there is no God after all of that. Like, I don't know, y'all. I pray for everyone's mom since mine died. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll give an extra one for her, though. Red and yellow make orange. Oh, blue and yellow make green. Did I just sound real dumb right there? Did I just sound real dumb by saying that? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. She said, red and yellow make orange. Okay, red and yellow make orange. This is pretty, y'all. This is really cute. This is the second time my husband gave advice about something and it came out cute. And y'all, I'm supposed to be going to a show this weekend, so I gotta start making stuff up for this show on Saturday. It's already paid for, so I got to go. Now this mold is small, so I'm gonna have some left over and I'll do something with that. So now I'm going to do what Shibi says. What are your colors? Aqua marine. Oh, I meant to put the, you dodo, I forgot. I forgot to put the sprinkles in there. This is red. They're gonna fall to the back. That's a different color though. I shouldn't do that, huh? If I put those in there, that's gonna look weird. Yes or no? I'm talking about as far as the molds go, bonehead. Should I put this in here or not? Because that's more orangish looking. So, not the red. And I want to put the orange one in there because Rhonda will be here in the morning running her mouth. Why you keep using my... That girl... Yeah, it's time for her to get back on camera because she be driving me nuts. That's too red, right? Don't put that in there. Girl, this is yours. Tell me what to do. Look, Shibi, look at this color. This is royal blue, but I like this one. This is sky blue. This look more mermaid, more like a mermaid. So, let me see. Let me get my glitter. I mean my red. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Oops. Anyway, so. Okay, you said blue. Where's my other resin? My other mica powder. Oh, Father, where's my other mica powder? I had it, right? Did it fall? Where's Rhonda when you need her? Okay. This is very pretty. Let's see. Now, let me move this out the way because y'all know I'm about to have a whole accident over here. And then I'm going to be on the thing screaming. And then y'all going to be like, what is her problem? And she wasn't proactive. She was reactive. And I could feel an accident about to happen. So let me get this stuff out the way. And stop being a dodo. A dodo bird, a dodo bird, a dodo bird is she. A dodo bird, a dodo bird, a dodo bird is she. She's a dodo. Now, you sit right there, baby. And if this stuff fall on there, child, I'm gonna beat my own self up. Look at this blue. Ooh, that's pretty. What does that? That's pretty. This is a pretty blue. They're very similar. All three of those are very similar. Then you have this color blue and that color blue. Ocean blue, indigo blue, golden blue, sky blue, jewelry blue. Jewelry blue. I also like purple. Blues and blue greens are all good to me. I also like purple. Silver is good too. It's pretty. These colors are awesome. I like these colors. So we could do blue with silver or blue with this. This is pretty. This is pretty. So I'm going to mix up. And I got to hurry up because this is really getting hot. So I'll mix up some of this. I'm going to try this one. Oh my gosh, y'all. It looks so pretty in there. And let's see, which one will go pretty with that? That one. Jewelry blue. Let's try jewelry blue. Hey, Shawana. A lot of people like blue. I know that's my husband's favorite color. So see, with mica powder, you really don't have to use a lot. That's why they don't give you a lot in the pack, because you don't really have to use a lot. But they should give you enough to last more than one daggone project. You know what I mean? They be ripping us off. So my husband wanted me to do the yellow and red, which did actually turn orange. I'll put some more in there. These colors are just precious. I love them. Again, I don't know who be coming up with this stuff, but they do. And it works for me. So, let's pour this in. Can y'all see it? Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. Honey, you like this. Coconut cake, this is pretty. Oh, wow. That is gorgeous. I'm almost don't want to put this in there. But look how that's going to complement that. Look at that. Pour it in there like that. OMG. Look at this. Wow. Beautiful. I had a great thought as usual. Boy, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm just doing this so I can put the bottom in too. It's not a lot for the bottom, but I used jewelry blue, Teresa. Jewelry blue. Get it together. Or should I make the bottom clear? Should I make the bottom clear? What do you guys think about the bottom? Should I make the bottom clear? Oh, if y'all could just see that. The way that, ooh. Look at the way that mixed up in there. It looks like a, okay, y'all, since y'all not answering. Oh, she said clear is good. Well, I already put it in, it's already poured it in a cup. It's going to have a little tint to it. Let's just leave it with the little tint. It could be light. It could be light. This though, I had to put this in there. I don't know who made this stuff, but I love this stuff. Alright, so the next time we go live, we could do questions and answers. If y'all have any questions for me, y'all heard about a little bit about my life, but y'all didn't hear a lot. You heard a certain part. Not that my life was all that thrilling, but I was in foster care. Actually, was in three foster homes that I know about. But I was a kid when I went to the, I was an infant when I first went to the foster homes. Oh my gosh. Look at that. That mica powder. And I love the iridescent glitter. The chunky glitter. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Look at that, how that pretty that. I see why you like blue, Shibi. Look at that, you could just play in this all day. Oh my goodness. That is just beautiful. Anyway, back to God's creation. And I just think about the stuff that God has done and the things that he has made and how he made us and how people just say there is no God. And people see the things that's going on in the world right now and they say there I know I did it already though, but this gonna be pretty. It's gonna be super pretty. I'm doing this because I want these to go down in there a little bit more. So that's that. Now, if I mess that up, I'm gonna punch my own self. I'm gonna use that as my own weapon against myself. That other heart and bust myself in the head. We don't want that now, do we? So far, so good, y'all. So far, so good. Let's not brag too much, because always... So I'll put that over there. And I'm going to bust my bubbles from afar. Because I don't want my thing to fall in like it did before. Now I got a little bit of resin left. So I need a small mold. It's getting hot, y'all. This is the little one I was talking about, that with the earring. That's the little one. That's what I was talking about. And these are, of course, my go-to molds. So when I have extra, I do like to send y'all stuff. But sometimes, you know, it can get a little pricey with these, I'm telling you, with these postal prices going up. And then they take so long to mail stuff. And you guys, if you want to, y'all can follow me on YouTube. I mean, this is YouTube, right? Y'all can follow me on Facebook. Because I go live on Facebook. Most of the time I go live on Facebook to do my I Win program. And my I Win program consists of me going over the scriptures and encouraging people to let them know that whatever we're going through, God is right here with us. And yes, I do have to take my own advice. And the program's called I Win. And WIN is an acronym. WIN stands for Walking in Newness. So every time I say I win, I'm saying I'm walking in newness. I'm not the same person I used to be. I don't allow people to treat me as if I'm the same person I used to be. Why? Because I'm a new creature in Christ. Old things are passed away and all things are made new. So, and that's the same thing with you guys. Don't let people just treat you like you're the old person, because you're not. We're new creatures in Christ Jesus, and that's how we're supposed to walk every day. As if we're new creatures, because guess what? Our circumstances don't change the fact that we're new creatures in Christ. Because once we become born again, we're just born again. We're born again, and it's just it. It's sealed. It's it. That's the bottom line. We're born again. And that's the bottom line. And it doesn't matter what we're going through. Our circumstances, our situations don't determine whether or not we're new creatures in Christ Jesus. That doesn't determine that. And you might say, well, why God allow me to go through this? Look, I don't know. Because I have asked God many times why I had to go through what I went through. But it was because, in my case, no, it didn't feel right when I was going through it. It didn't feel good. But I had to go through it. And because I went through it, I can encourage somebody else when they're going through and tell them, listen, it might not feel good right now, but God has your heart. He knows your heart. He has you. He hasn't left you. He hasn't forsaken you. No, it doesn't feel good right now what you're going through, but we got to still trust God. We got to still trust God. And I'm trying to tell y'all that I've been through some hell in my life. When I tell you hell on this side, I've been through hell. But it's made me a stronger person. It's made me a better person. And I'm still growing. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. I'm still learning how to trust God. Y'all, trusting God ain't easy all the time. Especially when you see stuff going on. You be like, God, like, I thought we was cool. I thought we was cool, yo. And God be like, we are cool. But I know what I'm doing. I know why I let you go through that. And God may not ever, ever, ever tell us why we went through what we went through. But the Bible tells us all things work together for the good to them that love God, to those who are called according to his purpose. That's what his words say. And sometimes I be like, Lord, you sure? I be like, Lord, are you sure? Are you sure all things work together for the good? Because I don't know. And you know what, y'all? I just gets real with God because he already know what I'm thinking anyway. I don't try to be disrespectful, but I talk to God like I would talk if I had a relationship with my dad. I talk to God like that. Because he is our Father. When Jesus was praying, he said what? Our Father who art in heaven, right? Our Father who art in heaven. That's what he said. So, if God is our Father, he knows what we need. He knows what's best for us. And sometimes we be like, Lord, I don't know. I don't know if you really... They say people say he don't give you no more than you can bear. But the Bible really doesn't say that. He says, there have no temptation taken you but such as is common to man. But God, who is faithful, will now allow you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation make a way of escape so that you might be able to bear it. He said he will with the temptation. And that's why it's important to read the scripture, because people be like, God said he give you no... No, he didn't. He said he'll make a way of escape that you'll be able to bear it. That's what he said. It didn't say God ain't gonna give you no more than you can bear. He said he's gonna make a way of escape. That's why it's important to read the scriptures, because sometimes we just take the scriptures and we use half of it and turn it around. And that's not really what God said. Oh, let me see. You'll have to keep popping bubbles on that blue heart. Yeah. By the way, if you ever have trouble choosing color combos, go to Pinterest and look up color palettes. You get some really nice color. Oh, that's good information. Thank you. Because y'all already know I do have problems with my colors. But anyway, so I hope y'all understand. And Joyce McTeer was at it again this morning, giving out her words of inspiration this morning. Talking about be careful who you surround yourself with. And when people show you who they really are, believe them. And she was talking about how some people were here for a season, some people were here for a reason, some people just here to tear you down. But you know, in the words of Kenny Rogers, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. I was tired, y'all, so anything make up my mouth. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. Well, he was gambling, so you know. Yep, there's those bubbles again. See, my husband is a mixologist. And when I say he's a mixologist, my husband mixes combinations that you would never think would work. I'm talking about food combos, y'all. I'm scheduled to go to a show on Saturday. I believe it's Saturday. It might be Friday. Let me get my facts straight. These are cute. These are cute. So, y'all, Chibi be giving out some good advice. She give out some good advice. Look how those colors melted together. I'm a bit of a mixologist too, but only because I vape and make my own e-juice. Really? I suck at cooking though. I heard vaping's not good for you though. Because my oldest son is 30, how old is the child? 36, 37, something like that. And he used to vape, and he used to always cough. I'm like, dude, you need to leave that alone. He smoked weed though, like it's going out of style. But I think these are going to come out pretty. These three chicks are going to come out cute. And my husband mixes, let me tell y'all, I don't know if I told you, when I first met him, I think it was it the first date? He was living with his grandmother at the time. And I think that was our first date, and he cooked. So I'm telling y'all this because he spoiled me from day one. That's why I don't like to cook. That's not why I don't like to cook. I just don't like to cook. But anywho, he goes in the kitchen. He makes some rice. Nothing wrong with that. He makes some pork and beans. Nothing wrong with that. And he made some corn. It wasn't whole corn or corn either. It was cream corn. If I'm not mistaken, it was cream corn. And when he brought the plate to me, I looked at him like, yeah, no, I don't want that. But baby, when I tell you, that was the best. And I even asked for more. And I think he was so proud of the fact that I asked for more. Because the way I looked at him when he brought it to me, I was like, I said to myself, I ain't eating that. What do you think? I'm not eating that. But baby, when it got on them taste buds, honey, it was good. And I was asking for more. Yes, ma'am. So the mixologist been mixing ever since. He always mixing up combinations. You just don't. He does it like when we get like when we get juices from the store and stuff. He come up with these combinations. He be pouring stuff in orange juice, and it be looking nasty. You ever mix stuff with orange juice and it just look crazy? I'm not talking about ginger ale. I'm talking about he just be mixing juices with Kool-Aid, grape Kool-Aid, or whatever Kool-Aid is in there at the time. Yes, we still drink Kool-Aid. And he just be, I'd be like, dude, like, are you serious? But it looked ugly, but baby, when I tell you it tastes good, you can trust me on that one. You can trust me on that. Honey, you are absolutely right, because God God knew I would. What? I ain't the one for cooking. And if I cook and I'm in a bad mood, you gonna know I was in a bad mood, because it is gonna taste nasty. It's gonna be nasty. If I cook and it come out nasty, you know I just don't like to cook. I don't. I never have. And I don't know. I have no real reason to tell you why I don't like to cook. I just don't like to cook. I never have. I never have. But I do thank God that the man can cook, because that saves me trouble. Look at this. Look at this. I hope they stay like this and don't do too much, because I can take these to the show when I go. I think it's Saturday. It might be Friday, so I better check. Let me see. 13, 14, 15, 16. 13th is tomorrow. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Ooh, it might be Friday, y'all. I gotta check. These two, they're gonna be pretty. This one is too, but they're gonna be pretty. Now you see all that paper, that paper that I showed you all, the cardstock paper. That cardstock paper, if you would take these instead of using them as coasters and put them on, use them as a tray. I mean, instead of using them as coasters, you could actually put these in picture frames. And I showed y'all last time. Excuse me, the copper one that Rhonda had picked out. And of course with the orange one, she done picked out another one. Rhonda really think that I'm her personal maker of whatever she wants. Cause every time she's like, she done already told me how I'm gonna make her her heart. She wants one of these hearts. She done already told me that it's gonna be all gold. She done already picked out the glitter. She done already done that. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow. My cooking is serviceable. I'll survive on it, but it's not inspired. I'll occasionally make something really good though. Yeah, my husband likes my fried chicken. I cook greens and cabbage really well. And string beans, because I like to cook them with smoked turkey. I cook those. I let the smoked turkey cook for a while until it's almost falling off the bones. But I usually put the greens in there before it falls off the bone. But I just like that flavor when I do it like that. And I like it to fall off the bone so I don't have any bones in there when I'm eating, so I can take them out. But he likes my chicken. He likes my greens. He doesn't really eat cabbage that much. He likes my lasagna. Yep, he likes my lasagna. What else? You know, and he said this to me, and sometimes I feel bad about it, but sometimes I don't, because I don't like to cook. He had said to me that we've been together for over 20 years, and I've never baked a cake for him. I used to bake. When my kids were little, I used to bake apple walnut cakes. Because where I was living in Germany, they had apple trees out there. So I would pick the apples, and I would cut the apples up. Whatever recipe I found, I would cut the apples up. I would put walnuts in it, and the cake mix and do all of that. And it wasn't the cake in a box either. It was homemade. So I used to do that, and I hate walnuts. I despise walnuts. But I used to make those apple walnut cakes all the time. I've even made cheesecake. And you see what I said? See, he put lasagna down there. He said, you can't prove it by me. I never have, we've been married for almost 22 years, and I have never made a cake. Never. Lasagna, I made lasagna. He liked my lasagna, but he's not a pasta person. But he liked my lasagna. So, but I never made him a cake. I might have to surprise him and make him one. He need to go out though, because if I make one, I don't want him in here. I want him to be out in the street somewhere so I can surprise him. But maybe I'll make one. No, I ain't gonna make one for his birthday because I want his birthday cake to be good. So his birthday is in November. I never baked a dessert. Cheesecake. I used to make cheesecake. When I was in Portugal, I lived in Portugal, I used to make cheesecake. And people used to always come to me asking me to make cheesecake. Homemade cheesecake. The bomb. You know what? But my husband don't really eat cheesecake. I was going to say maybe I can make one tomorrow. But maybe I'll just make a cake. Another cake. Excuse me. If the Lord allow, I got to go out tomorrow for real. I'm not even playing. But when I was in the last foster home, and this is really why I hate baking, because when I was in the last foster home, they used, every weekend, I promise you, no lie, every weekend we was making cakes. Every weekend we used to make the long sheet cakes, long sheet cakes, and they would be 2 and 3 layers. Sometimes we make a 2 and 3 layer jelly cake. We make the yellow cake and put whatever icing on top of it. We would do coconut sometimes. Sometimes it'd be half and half. Chocolate on one side, white on the other side, but it usually be 2 layers. And if it wasn't 2 layers, the one layer was thick as crap. And I got so sick of cake. I hated cake. Even rice. We used to eat rice almost every day, and I hated rice. And when I first married Gerald, I was not eating rice. He would cook, and he's a rice person, and he would cook rice every day, and I'd be like, I don't want any rice. And one day I just started eating it again. I don't know what happened, why I started eating it again, but I did. But I couldn't stand rice because we used to eat rice all the time. Now, we used to eat grits too, but we used to only eat grits on Sunday. And Sunday morning, me and my sisters, we used to have to pour the grits out of the box and pick them. We used to have to pick the grits because it would be black stuff in it. And my foster mother, she used to always think it was bugs that got chopped up in the grits. So we used to have to pick the black dots out of the spots out of the grits. Do you know how tedious that was? That we had to actually put them down on the paper towel and pick through them to pick all the black spots out of them. Every Sunday. Every Sunday. Because we will all sit at the table on Sunday morning before church, and we will all have to say a Bible verse. All of us around the table had to say a Bible verse. So it was foster dad at the head. It was foster mother sitting next to him. It was usually Denise sitting there. Nanny was at the other end of the table. Then it was me, my brother Kevin, and it was Tiny. And we used to all sit around the table. And after he would say the prayer, we all used to have to say a scripture. And we all would sit there and eat grits and whatever else. Scrapple, bacon, eggs, orange juice and stuff like that. But to this day, I still eat grits. I had grits this morning. My husband will not touch a grit. And my husband likes cream dry beef. That's his favorite thing to eat. Now, he gets it already prepared. But, Beverly's on now. But he likes that cream dry beef. He likes it. I'm gonna go back to get him the one where I have to prepare it because he likes that. He likes me to prepare it instead of just boiling it in a bag and putting it on his toast or his English muffins. So yeah, Mm-hmm. Gotta start doing that. Because he likes that. He likes that. So, certain things I can cook well. Certain things I just rather leave alone. I know, it sounds so yummy, right? I had those grits this morning. I hadn't had them in a while. And I really, really like grits. But I like my grits with cheese. And my foster sister, she, oh my God, she liked her. She used to put sugar in her grits. And I just wanted to fly across the table and bust her in the head because you're not supposed to put sugar in grits. You put sugar in cream of wheat. I hate cream of wheat. I hate cream of wheat. There's something about that cream of wheat that I despise. So they didn't usually make us eat cream of wheat, but they had it for whoever wanted it. And they used to make us eat oatmeal, though. I hate oatmeal. But when I eat it, I just put it in my mouth and swallow it real hard because I can't stand it. So, what else do I like, though? Oh, so if the Lord let me see my birthday, we're going to Red Lobster. Matter of fact, Gerald, remind me, we could go to Red Lobster here. I forgot. I could tell Kevin and Anira that too. They could meet us at Red Lobster here. We could go to Red Lobster right here in Philly. Where's that Red Lobster? I forgot where that Red Lobster is. But we can go to Red Lobster because I told my husband I was going to try to eat a crab. I'm going to try it though. I'm going to try to eat one. Do you have some of the stuff you done around you now so I can see them? Some of the stuff. Did you see the heart? I did the heart mold, so I made those. Oh, why I'm looking that way. I did this. I did these today, but I was just playing around to see. I did this with the heart mold. And it has a stand. I don't think you were on when I showed that part. Can you see that? It has a stand. Oopsie. The heart has a stand. Well, it goes on like this. You got to put it on the right way, else it'll fall. So I think that is so cute that it has a stand. So I did that this morning, but I was playing around. Crabs are good. She said the eating kind. Which kind you talking about, Miss Sheeby? Now, you don't want to talk about the other ones. Yeah, so when I was in the last foster home, they used to take us camping. And when we would go camping, excuse me, we would go crabbing. And we thought it was like a cage thing that had a flap on it. So we would tie some meat in there, and the crabs would get in the cage, and then we pull it up, and they would eat them. I couldn't stand them. I couldn't stand the crabs. And I have caught a horseshoe crab. You know, a horseshoe crab will sting you. We used to catch the little sharks, and we used to cut them up and use them as meat. We used to go digging in the park, in Fairmount Park, for crabs. I mean, for worms, to go fishing. I used to love fishing. I haven't been fishing I was a teenager. I must have been 14 the last time I've been fishing. And I used to love fishing. You said you're in Philly. My brother is out in Dover. I'm in New York. Yep. We're in Philadelphia. How many homes you was in? I was in 3 that I know of. The first one I was in, it was me and my brother. And the lady was really old, but she was the sweetest. Oh, she was so sweet. I loved her. I was so mad that I had to leave. But at the time, they weren't separating brothers and sisters. So because my brother was acting a fool, we had to leave because he was really a lot of trouble. But it wasn't his fault because my dad had beat him almost to death. He beat him almost to death because he didn't think my brother was his son. So he beat the crap out of him. He almost beat him to death. And that's why we were taken from my mom. And we were the 2 youngest ones at the time. So They took us, but they took everybody else too. But my older siblings, who have a different father, they were old enough to leave, so they left. When they went to the foster home, they left and went back to home with my mom. But we were too little, so my brother was 2 and I was an infant. So we had to remain in foster care, and the lady that got us, she was old, and when we left, I think I was 11 when we left. My brother was 13, or about to be 13, and he was just doing all kind of things. Like, he would just be disobedient. He would go out. He would steal. My brother was just, he was just crazy. And one time he jumped off of a roof, off of the school roof, and he had an umbrella. I don't know who he was trying to be, Mary Poppins. I don't know what he was trying to do. But he jumped off the roof, and the stem of the umbrella went up his nose. Oh my God, I will never forget that. I was talking to him about that last week. That went up his nose, and he was sitting there like it was nothing wrong. I'm like, what's wrong with it? I still can. Ugh. Ugh. And it's ironic that now, in his nose, he just had cancer in his nose. And I said to him, I wonder if that had anything to do with that umbrella that went up his nose when he was little. But he's 50. I'm 55. He's 57. He's 57 years old. So it might have nothing to do with it at all. But because he was so rebellious and disobedient, they took us both out that home. And then they put us in the second home. In the second home, the woman was very abusive. Yeah, I would have stayed there with her, but they weren't separating us because I was a good girl. I was a good girl. But like I said, because my dad had beat him up, he had some kind of brain damage, I believe, because he was just reckless and didn't care. So we went to the next foster home, and in that foster home, the lady was an alcoholic. I don't know how they picked this woman, but some people can put on a show for a check. So when the what you call the people, the caseworkers, the social workers put us in that home, and every time the social worker would come over, she would put on her best face. You know, she was the loving mother and all this and the other. But when the caseworker left, she would beat us. She would do all kinds. I'm trying to tell you, I was abused in that home. I was abused, and she had 2 children living there before my brother and I got there. And the girl was a lesbian. And please, if anybody's on here, same gender loving, please don't take this the wrong way. But I wasn't a lesbian. I wasn't, and I'm still not. And she tried to force me to be her. You know what I want to say, right? And when I refused, she beat me. When I tell you she beat me so bad. And my foster mother knew that she was beating me for that. You think she helped me? You think she made the girl stop? And then I let her beat me because I'd rather for you to beat me than do what she wanted me to do. She beat she beat me. And my foster mother finally came in there, and my foster mother was like, well, what's going on? And so the girl lied and said I broke her tea set. First of all, you don't even play with tea set. What you got a tea set for? And I did knock it over because she was beating me, so she was throwing me into everything. Who I was going to call? There was nobody I could call. She monitored everything we did. I couldn't call nobody. I couldn't use the phone. If I used the phone, she knew who I was calling. Who was I going to call? They didn't have cell phones back then. There was nobody to call. And we were told when we go to school, what goes on in this house stays on in this house. And if I find out you told somebody, you're going to get it again. So it was that type of situation where you couldn't tell anybody. You couldn't say anything. So she beat me. The lady's boyfriend was staying there. His name was Mr. Jimmy. And I don't know what kind of trouble he got into, but somebody had sliced his leg open. And instead of him going to the hospital, he got bone exposed. So he can't go up and down the steps unless he scoot up the steps. But he used to have you remember those Maxwell House cans of coffee? He used to have the Maxwell House can of coffee. You couldn't use it. No, I couldn't use the paper. If we told, we was going to get in more trouble. Because she was going to make up a story to say why I got a beating. And then after she talked to the social worker, I would get a beating. For real. See, people say stuff like, why didn't you call? Why didn't you leave? I didn't have anywhere to go if I left. And I did run away one time and the police brought me right back. I ran away. The police brought me right back. And you know I got beat then, right? So there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to hide. There was nobody I could confide in because they would go right back and tell them we get beat again. And then when the social worker come, the social worker be like, oh, well, she listening to the foster mother, and then it'd be more trouble. So we was there I was 11. I think was there like maybe 2 years. I don't even know if it was a full 2 years. But the lady's boyfriend, and she had a Numbers house somewhere in North Philly. And she used to take me with her to the Numbers house so I could be the cigarette girl. I would go to the store for the guys that was at the house. It was a Numbers house. I would go to the store for them. And at that time, when you know, we could buy cigarettes and we could buy beer. So I used to go to the store and do that. And I would get a little bit of money for that, you know. But her boyfriend that lived at the house, he couldn't go up and down the steps because his bone was exposed in his leg. So he did something illegal. He had to, because why would you not go to the hospital and get your leg fixed if your bone is exposed? So anyway, he used to pee in the Maxwell House can. He used to pee in the can until it was all the way full. So he would have cigarette butts in there and hot piss. And I was the one that had to take it upstairs to empty it out. Can you imagine the smell of hot piss and cigarette butts? And then he filled it all the way up to the top and it would spill out on my hands. I got post-traumatic stress disorder from that. Believe it or not, I do. And when I would bend over to get his can, because the way he had it, the only way I could bend over and pick up the can was I would have to bend over. When I bend over, my butt was near him. And he would hit me on my butt. So one day, foster mother saw him hit me on my butt. She beat me. And you're fresh. Now you knew all the time what your boyfriend was doing. You knew it. I guess she just had enough that day. And she beat the crap out of me. You just fresh. Well, you ain't gonna say nothing to your man? She ain't say nothing to her man. And then one day we all went to school and we came home and the house was locked up. We couldn't get in. The older ones that she had there before, they had keys. The keys wasn't working. So they must have had this plan. They were gone. Or they had to be gone because the locks, we couldn't get in. And the neighbors didn't know. So we sitting outside on the steps and we sitting on the sidewalk. Somebody called the police and then the police called the social worker. And then they took us to the last foster home that we were in. All 4 of us went, but only 2 of us stayed, me and my brother. We stayed at the last foster home. And all I can say about that was that it was more emotional abuse because of the things they used to say. And things were just different there. It was just a lot of stuff that was different there. We knew we were foster kids, but we knew that anyway. But it was just so much different between us, me and my brother, and the kids that were already there. It was crazy. And I finally ran away when I was 16. I was about to turn 17 when I went to go pick up my clothes. The next day I was turning 17. And I went to the court and got emancipated. So I was no longer a ward of the state. And then I married The only guy that I was allowed to date when I was in that foster home, because him and my foster mother knew each other. And I married him. I got married at 17. And he rescued me from Philly. If I could say anything, because I really don't usually have nice things to say about him, but when we got married at 17, it was the best thing that happened because I was out of the environment that I was in. Because I believe if I hadn't stayed in Philadelphia, I wouldn't have been any good. I would have been promiscuous. I would have been on drugs. I would have been, because the people that I was around, they were promiscuous. And where I went to go stay after I ran away, the grandmother of my girlfriend, she was, oh my God, that lady was so sweet. I miss her so much. I miss her so much. She didn't know me from a can of paint. And when I ran away, my girlfriend told her what happened, and she let me stay. She let me sleep in her bed with her. I was a little weary of that at first. I was like, this lady don't even know me. She won't let me sleep in her bed. Okay. She let me sleep in her bed with her. Didn't know me from a can of paint. She could have made me sleep on the couch. Or she could have called her granddaughter and let her granddaughter sleep in there with her, and I sleep in her granddaughter's bed. She let me sleep in the bed with her. So I was there with her from May to August when I got married. I got married at 17. I got married on August the 19th. My then husband was in the military. He had gone into the military. But before he and I got married, his mother was trying to persuade us not to get married. She was like, you know what, I'm going to adopt you. That way you can't marry him. I was like, well, you do know that if you adopt me, we're still not blood. So I can still marry him. You know that, right? She tried it. She tried it. Because she didn't like me because she called me a ward of the state. And children that's wards of the state are no good. So she kept telling him that I was no good. And she didn't want him to marry me. She didn't want to have that reputation that her son married a ward of the state. So she tried everything she could to stop me from marrying her son. And sometimes I wish I would have listened. But I got 3 beautiful children out of that situation. So I can't regret it because I got my 3 kids. So for a long time, I acted out. I would fight people for no reason. Just because I was angry at the world. I was angry. I'm not going to say I was angry at God because I didn't know I could be angry with God at that time. But as I got older, I began to say, God, you know what? Why'd you let this happen? Why you allowed that to happen? Why you this? Why you that? And I was reckless. I really got reckless at some point. And I didn't care. I didn't care about my life. I didn't care about anybody else's life. I didn't care about anything. So that's how I lived my life. I was drinking. I was in the club every weekend. I was unfaithful in my marriage. My husband was unfaithful in our marriage. That's why I started being unfaithful, which was dumb when I look back at it now. But him and I weren't getting along. So I was unfaithful in my marriage. And I tried to kill my husband twice. First time with a knife. The second time I tried to run him over with the car. Yeah, I was reckless. I was a mess. So, I hated the world because the way I was treated. And, you know, being in foster care, being abused, being told you're no good, you know, just being made to feel that you're only here for a check, getting treated differently than the other kids got treated. That plays a part and mess you up. And people just don't understand how a certain part of me can see how people wind up being killers, being murderers. Because in your psyche, you just like, I don't care. I don't care. So you just take it out on everybody because you don't care. However, I don't condone that kind of stuff because we do have a mind and we do have a choice to do what we do. And if it wasn't for my husband being stronger than me, he would have been dead. He would have been dead because I'm one of them people. When you make me mad and you don't push me in the corner, I go into a rage. That's what I used to do. I haven't been in a rage in a long time. But I used to do that. That's why I almost killed him. And he knew I was going to kill him. That's why he almost broke my hand getting that knife out of my hand, because he knew I was going to kill him. So I've been through a lot of stuff. But like I said, when I was in a foster home, I got born again when I was in that first foster home and got filled with the Holy Ghost. And God knew I was going to go through this stuff. I believe in my heart of hearts. That's why he did that at such a tender age. And when I got married to my husband I'm with now, I hadn't gotten healed, so I treated him bad too. I didn't care, because I wasn't healed. So I put him through some stuff that he didn't have to go through. But it was me being broken and not healed. So I went through this crazy, I just didn't care. I always told him I was going to divorce him. I was going to leave him. And then one day he was like, you know what? You say this to me all the time, and I'm not going to divorce you. He said, but if you really want to leave this time, just go ahead. Because I don't want you to not be happy. I don't want to hold you here with me and you're not happy. And all the other times that I said I was going to leave him, he was like, no, don't leave. We can work it out, da 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 da. But this time, he was like, if you want to leave, you can just go. And he said it. He was so nice when he said it. He said it with such a soft heart. He was like, I don't want you to go. But if you feel like you can be happy without me, you want to be, he said, you can go. He said, but I really don't want you to go. And when he said that, it like pierced my heart, because, you know, I'm big and bad and I'm this and that and other. Child, he said that thing made me feel this small. I was like, well, dang, guess I won't say that no more. So I never had intentions of leaving, but I would always say it because I just felt like I couldn't deal with it no more. And then at some point in my life, God just was like, you know what, child, that's enough. Like, get it together. And I used to be mad at God and tell him stuff like, you knew this was happening in my life. Why you let this happen? And at some point, God just began to heal me. But I know he had a lady call me from Facebook that didn't know me. And she said I need to repent. It was a whole story. It was just crazy. And that's when I started getting my healing. And it had to start with my first husband because I hated him. It had to start with him. So I couldn't even be good in my marriage because I was still hating on my first husband. I was hating him. And I was taking it out on my current husband because I couldn't get to my first husband. So I was taking it out on Gerald. And I put him through the ringer. He can tell you, he suffered because of me. And I regret a lot of the stuff that I did. And I used to just, hate the world, so I didn't care. And then I remember when I was in California, and I had a real serious incident happen in California, and I'll tell you all about that another time. But I wound up getting arrested, going to and they taking me to the mental hospital. But I did tell y'all about the mental hospital part. But I was so messed up that I was threatening the cops because I wanted them to kill me. Suicide by cop, I wanted them to kill me because I was so hurt. That's why I said, when people say, when they misuse the scripture and say God will give you no more than you can bear, that's not true. That's not true. Because what I went through, I couldn't bear it. I wanted to die. And because I wasn't brave enough to kill myself, I wanted the police to kill me. So I threatened them. I knew what to say. I know you and I know you. I know your names. And when I get out, I'm going to kill both of y'all. Who says that to the cops? They had me shackled and had the chain that go down to my feet. Had my feet shackled too. And in the cop car, they got that partition thing. And I'm steady talking. And they took me from Barstow, California to San Bernardino, California, which is a 2-hour ride. And the whole time I'm cussing them out and calling them names and threatening them and telling them, when I get out, I'm going to get you and I'm going to get you. because I know your names. Watch. But they knew I was messed up. They knew I was messed up because I had a serious incident that happened. And so when that happened to me, I just lost it. I didn't care. I was walking in the middle of the street hoping the cars would come down the street and kill me. And mysteriously, no cars would come down the street that day. So I couldn't get hit by a car because the cars was, I don't know where the people were. They were gone. So, baby, when I tell you that God had a plan for my life, he had a plan for my life because I'm still here. And then, after all of that, I get diagnosed with lupus. I'm not crying. There's something in my eye. I got diagnosed with lupus. So I'm like, Lord, like, did you let me be born just so you could laugh at me or something? Because I feel like I'm a joke. I used to say stuff like that because when you hurt, you just be like, why you let me be born? My mom had 13 children. And my mom aborted some of her children with a hanger. And she tried to abort me with a hanger. And I'm still here. She tried to abort me. But God let me be born. Then I went through all of that hell. Then I went through some more hell. And I'm like, God, what you do that? Why you let that happen? I don't understand. Did you mean this to me for somebody else? Why you do that? And now I know how strong I am. Because there's people that have gone through less. There are people that have gone through very similar things that I've been through. And they've taken their lives. And I tried, and God wouldn't let me. He just wouldn't let me. Much as I try. Hey, Shay Shay. Where was your 3 kids during this time? With their father. They was with their dad. That's a whole nother story. That's why I lost my mind, because my husband took my kids. And that's a whole nother story, how he did that. His mother was behind it. But he did it. And that's what made me just lose everything. And that's why I wanted the cops to kill me. Yep. He was a good father in the fact that he provided for them, but he wasn't a good emotional support for them. He wasn't a good emotional support for them. And it really affected them a lot. But, you know, my kids, my boys went in the military. My daughter has a great job. All 3 of them have great jobs. I have 3 grandchildren from my youngest son, who is my middle child. So they went through some stuff too. But when I tell you that I went crazy, and then one of the people that was instrumental in my husband taking my children was the lady that I was living with, who was supposed to be my pastor. And she set up this whole thing. That's a whole nother story. She set up this whole thing, and it was crazy. She was crazy. I don't even know what she alive now. I know she had an aneurysm the last time I heard anything. She had an aneurysm. And I was asked God a lot. I've been like, God, she was supposed to be a pastor. Why you let her do that to me? Everything was, God, why you let her do that to me? But I had a part in it too. But I didn't have a part in my husband taking my children. He did that because he's pure evil, and his mother was behind it. And but God, remember I said God had to heal me from that. I had to repent. I had to forgive him. Else I wouldn't have been able to go down and see my son when he was in trouble, trying to kill himself. And when I think about everything I've been through, and that's not even all of it. When I think about everything I've been through, I've been raped by a pastor who told me he was going to kill my children if I said anything. And come to find out, he had been doing that to a lot of the women in that community. But we all didn't know about it at the time. And when I told my, she was my pastor first. When I told her about it, she took pictures because he bit me all over my body. I had bites. You would have thought a dog bit me. That's how many bites I had on me. And when I went to her for help and asked her to take me to the police station, she wouldn't take me. She said, God told me to tell you not to go. But she took all these pictures and said, God told me. Now I'm immature in the Lord. I didn't know anything. I believed everything this lady said, which is dumb, is why I tell people now, have your own relationship with God. Don't let people become your God, that you listen to every single thing they say and you don't go to God yourself. I tell people that now because of what I went through. Don't ever let somebody become your God. Don't ever put so much trust in a person that they rule your life. You hinge on everything they say because you don't know. Get to know God for yourself. I don't care if you go to church every Sunday and you think your pastor is the best pastor ever. Don't let your pastor become your God. Because once you take your eyes off of God himself and let that person become your God, anything can happen. She was instrumental in my husband coming to take my kids. They had a whole plan. And she was instrumental for me not going to the cops, telling the cops about that man raping me. And he told me he was going to kill my children. So there was I went through so much in my life. And when my husband that I'm married to now met me, I was in dire straits. I was horrible. I was about this big. I was smoking. I was drinking. I was still going to church now. But I was doing all of this behind the scenes because I was messed up. And he came and the Lord allowed him to prophesy to me about my children, because at that time I hadn't seen my children because my ex-husband took my kids. I didn't know where they were. He never sued me for child support because he didn't want me to know where my children were. But my husband prophesied to me and he said, the Lord said you're going to reunite with your children. And it was going to be, I forgot how long he said it was going to be. It was going to be in a matter of months. And it was in a matter of weeks or days, actually. And I called my ex-husband's commander and I gave him this story of, I said, my husband's mother is sick and I need to get in touch with him. And I don't even know why they believed that, because we was divorced, so he would have known. I said, this is what I said. I said, I'm his sister and our mother is sick and I need to get in touch with him. And they put me through to his commander or whatever, and I told his commander this, that, and the other, because I knew his social security number, and I told him all of this. And he connected me with him, but I had told his commander who I really was and what really happened. And I don't know if my husband got in trouble or whatever the case was, but I didn't care. But that's when I got back in touch with my children. And it was because of my current husband. And the Lord allowed him to prophesy that I was going to get back in touch with my children. And that's when that happened. I was allowed to go and see them when my son graduated, my oldest son graduated. And, you know, that happened. But when I tell you that God is real, he's so real to me now, nobody can tell me that there is no God. because of the things that he allowed me to go through. And even though I suffered when I went through those things, I'm still here. And I'm here to help other people to know that even though you're going through and it may hurt like hell, don't let go of God. Don't let go of God, because he will bring you through. That's why I said when people say God will give you no more than you can bear, that is not true. That is not true. But that particular scripture was talking about temptation, and I hate when people take scripture out of context. It was talking about temptation. So, all of that stuff that I went through, I didn't think I could bear that. And I really couldn't. That's why I wound up in the mental hospital. That's why I was out there being reckless. That's why I was trying to take my life. Because I couldn't take it. I could not take it. And I tried to do everything I could to hurt myself. I couldn't hurt my ex-husband. I couldn't hurt my foster parents. I couldn't hurt my mother. So the next best thing to do was to hurt myself and just not care anymore. But then when God got a hold of me, when he sent that lady that didn't even know me, her name was Jacqueline something, I can't remember, but she was on Facebook. And when he told her to call me and tell me what she said, and that's when I was able to start the healing process, because I was a Christian, but I was a Christian on the surface. I went to church. I did all the churchy things. I was in the choir. I was a director of the choir. A couple of choirs I was director of. I was an usher. Everything that you can do in church, I was doing it. I was even preaching. I was doing that too. And still was messed up inside. Still was messed up inside. Until God had to heal me. And he is still healing me from some things. He's still healing me, but guess what? Life is so much better for me now. Life is so much better. Been married 22 years to the same man. Our relationship now is nothing compared to what it was. We love each other. We understand each other. We don't agree on everything, no, but we don't have those, those arguments, those me trying to divorce him and all that, none of that stuff. We don't go through that. And that all happened because I had to address my issues. I had to address me. Because I would get to a point where I would pray and I would say, God, you need to fix him. God, this is what I want you to do. You need to fix him. You need to do this. And then one day God said, well, what about you? What about you? You worried about him. What about you? I'm like, what? No, this is what. And God said, what about you? What about you? And girl, when I had to turn around and look at myself, my evil, mean, unforgiving, unrepentant, unloving, uncaring self, it was hideous. It was hideous. When God showed me, I was blaming everybody for everything. And then God showed me. He was like, you the one that needs to be fixed. You the one that need to be fixed. You talking about fix him. You the one that need to be fixed. You know I didn't like that, right? I'm like, but God. And my husband he never did anything that was so bad to me that I felt like I had to tell God. I know one day he pissed me off, though. He really did. And I was like, you know what? I'm telling God on you. I'm getting ready to go tell him right now. He was like, no, don't tell God on me. Don't do that. I'm sorry. I don't even remember what it was. But I think about that and I laugh about it because I actually told him I was going to tell God on him. He's like, no, don't tell God on me. Don't do that. And it wasn't even nothing, like, it was nothing. And when I think about it, it was nothing. Nothing, like, but I was so messed up. The least little thing that he would say to me would make me mad. And I used to couldn't laugh. I was so bitter and broken. I couldn't laugh. And my husband said to me one day, he was like, you just, everything that I say to you, you just take it like I'm coming against you. I'm not coming against you. But everything he used to say to me, I used to just take it so personal. And be like, you hate me, you don't love me, that's why I'm leaving you. And it would be nothing of the sort, but I was so messed up, I couldn't even laugh. I couldn't laugh. I was so bitter and angry and hurt, I couldn't laugh. Now, well, that's all we do is laugh. We laugh so much, we just laugh. It's like, whatever, we just laugh. Life is just like, if I could have had this at the beginning of our marriage, it would have been cool. But I'm telling you, the first 8-9 years of our marriage was hell because of me. Well, he had his little part in it, but it wasn't nothing drastic. You know, it wasn't nothing. It was me that was messed up. And every time he would say something, I would swear he was trying to belittle me. He was trying to cut me with his words. And he wasn't doing any of that. It was my messed up mind. So one day, now you know we was talking about the zodiac signs. Now my husband is a Scorpio, and you know Scorpio stings. So my husband's not an arguer. He will not argue. He will not argue. And I used to be to the point when I would argue with him, he would walk away. I follow behind him, and you gonna argue with me? You gonna argue? Yes, you are. That's when you know you messed up, when you following behind people and you want to keep arguing. They don't want to argue. So one day, my husband had he had got a lawsuit. He got some money from this lawsuit. It wasn't a whole lot of money, but it was more than what we had. And so, why am I telling y'all this? So he got the money, and when he got the money, oh, I was super nice. I was nice to him. Oh yes. He was buying me this, and he was doing that, and he bought me a nice ring set, and he got a ring, and I was the nicest person as long as he had this money. And one day I think it was the day we had got the rings, and this just hurt my heart so bad. It still made me cry sometimes. So, we were standing at the corner, and for some reason or other, I'm arguing with him again. But I don't even know what we was arguing about. Now, how you argue when you just came and got rings? What you arguing about? So I'm arguing, and we waiting for the bus, and he said to me, and it cut me to my core. It stung me. That scorpion, that sting, it stung me so hard. When I got on the bus, I was crying. I sat behind him, and I was crying, but nobody knew I was crying. I had covered my face, and I was, he had said to me, he said, as long as I had the money, you were nice to me, but the money is running out, and I see you reverting back to how you was acting before I got the money. So it's really about the money. I couldn't even say anything. I couldn't say anything because he was right. As long as he had the money, he was getting what I wanted him to get and doing what I wanted him to do. It was gravy. Everything was fine. But the money started running out, and here I come. Here I come again, acting a fool. And when I tell you that thing stung me, it stung me so bad that I had to stop and really examine myself. I had to examine myself, and when I looked at it, it was nasty. It was horrible. But I had to confront that. I had to confront myself. I had to confront myself. And it was ugly, y'all. It was ugly. But again, I don't know why I'm telling y'all all of this stuff, but maybe somebody needs to hear it. Maybe somebody needs to hear it. Maybe this could help somebody. That if you're going through something and your life was terrible and people didn't treat you right and things happened, that even through all of that, God still loved me and he put up with me, and then he sent his word and started the healing process for me, because only God could do that. Only God could do that. And he's still healing me. He's still changing me. He's still doing. There's a saying, if you're going through hell, keep going. That's all you can do, really. Hi, Viola. So, it's just, it is what it is. And I did, Chibi. I kept going and really didn't know why. Because I didn't want to be here anymore. I didn't want to be here anymore. The stuff that I went through. I didn't want to be here anymore. And I had actually hoped that those cops would have shot me. That's what, because I was in such pain. I was in such agony that I just didn't want to live anymore. But God turned all that around. He turned all of that around. God turned all of that around. And even, was I here? No, we was at the other apartment. We was living at the other apartment. I was just going through so much with this lupus and the aneurysms and just going through so much. And again, but this is a different type of going through was my health. And one day I was like, Lord, I just can't take it no more. I'm just ready to die. I'm ready. I just can't take it no more. Like, enough. And one of my friends, one of my craft sister friends, called me and she was crying. I'm like, why is she calling me crying? Like, I ain't got time for this right now because I'm going through myself. I don't know. I feel like hearing no crying for nobody else. That was selfish. That's how I felt. She said, and she called me. This is exactly what she said. Prophetess, I got to tell you something. I'm like, what? Because she was crying. I didn't know, like, was she dying or what the heck? She said, Prophetess, I have to tell you something. And I don't want to tell you, but the Lord said I have to tell you. I said, what? She said, the Lord said, if you want to die right now, he'll take you. But your work is not finished on this earth. But he said, if you really want to die, he will take you. And she was crying like, she was bawling. She said, but the Lord said he has need of you because you still have a work to do. And I sat on that bed and I started crying. And I'm still crying over it. But she said, he's not finished with you yet. And so I said, okay, I don't want to die. I said, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I didn't really want to die. I was just hurting so bad. I was just hurting. Obviously, I didn't die because I'm still here. But God said, I still have need of you. And then God had me read again about Elijah when Jezebel threatened him. And Jezebel said, by this time you'll be dead tomorrow. And he ran and he went to sit up underneath the tree. And he talking about, I'm ready to die. I'm not going to do nothing else. And the Lord let him let him wallow in his self-pity until God was like, you know what, this enough. Look, eat this food right here and get up, because you got to go talk to, he didn't say it like that, but he was like, I got something else for you to do. He had to go anoint Elisha so Elisha could finish the work. So God was like, you know what, get up, like enough, like eat this food. You're gonna have to run a couple of days journey and do what I told you to do. Like, get up. I'll let you sit there. You was in a cave. You talking about you wanted to die. You was in enough. Get up. And that was my enough. Get up. I got something else for you to do. And I was just overwhelmed. I despised my life, because it seemed like I just went through one thing after another, one thing after another, one thing after another. It was never ending. But what I find out now is that when I tell my testimony, people will be like, what? I needed to hear that. I would have never guessed that you went through that. I would have never guessed. When I used to do my radio program, and when I do my radio program, I'm this whole other personality, and I love it. And people would say, when they heard my testimony, they'd be like, unbelievable. Like, we would never know. Because you do your radio broadcast, you teach the word of God, you do all of it. Nobody would have never known you went through all of that. Well, how you going to know if I don't tell you? But when God allows me to tell my testimony and people hear it, some people are just shocked, and they be like, what? So I enjoy giving my testimony now, because some people are really getting set free, because they figure, well, dang, you went through all of that. I ain't even going through what you went through, but you went through all of that. Yeah, I did. I suffered suicidal depression as a teenager, a chemical imbalance, as well as a reaction to no one believing me that I was in physical pain. My medical condition wasn't really diagnosed back then. I understand that too. As a teenager, they used to always, and not even as a teenager, as an adult, my pastor would always tell me I was faking. The doctor told me I was faking. Oh, we see the symptom, but there's really nothing wrong with you, because the test came back this, everything came back negative. And heck, that'll make you be depressed when you know you sick and people telling you you not. For years, they did that until they finally diagnosed me with lupus. And I'm like, I didn't even know what lupus was. And we was crying in the car, me and my husband, oh, I got lupus, I don't know, I'm going to die. I ain't know nothing about what lupus was, never heard of it or anything. And then I went through the I went through the thing. I was like, God, my mom had 13 children. Why I'm the only one with lupus? Why I'm the only one with aneurysms? Why I'm the only... I went through all of that too. I was like, no, I'm not wishing it on my sisters and brothers. I just want to know why I'm the only one with it. So I look at some of my sisters and brothers, and they go through stuff, and it's hard for them. And I don't wish this on anybody in my family. I had a cousin who died about 4 years ago. She had lupus. And I didn't meet her till late in life, because we didn't know my dad's side of the family. And my dad died when I was 11. So we didn't know, none of us knew my father's side of the family. And they had been searching for us and everything, but we finally got to meet him. That's a long story, and it was good. And I met my cousin, and she had lupus. And when she died, I was devastated when she died, because she was the only person that I knew that could relate to me having lupus. Nobody else understands. People can sympathize with you, but they can't really understand what you're going through. When you're having suicidal thoughts, people can't really empathize with you, but they can sympathize. They can say, oh, I'll pray for you, I feel sorry for you. But people, if they don't really go through it, they don't really know. And then who God chose me to be in Him, I feel a lot of people's stuff too. I carry people's stuff. I was talking to my sister, my craft sister, last week, and I was telling her how I was carrying this burden of this person, and I was grieving, and I was like, oh my God, please, like, can you fix them? Can you heal them? So this burden can leave. Like, sometimes I just literally be crying because I feel it's just so heavy on me, the stuff that I be feeling for it's other people's stuff that I be feeling. And then when I know that I feel that, that means for me to pray for them. But people who haven't been through what you've been through don't really understand. And some people may say, you know, get over it. And I know one of my baby sister, we took a course together, and they were talking about people who are suicidal, you know, people who are on drugs and stuff. You don't tell them to just get over it, because a lot of people have killed themselves because people don't listen to them and they tell them just get over it. Some things people can't just get over. It takes a process. It's not something, everybody's not made the same. And even if somebody went through the same exact thing that you went through, you still can't tell them to get over it, because you might have got over it. Doesn't mean they're going to get over it the same time, the same way that you did. So we got to be careful about telling people to just get over it. Or be careful about telling people, well, you shouldn't tell this and you shouldn't tell that. You shouldn't say this. You don't know what part of what you say might help somebody get through what they're going through. We never know what we say, what God allows us to say is going to help somebody to get through what they're going through. They might say, well, dang, you went through all of that? Let me sit down and pray. Let me forgive. Let me check myself out. I'm blaming everybody else for my problems. But let me look at me. Let me search my heart. Let me say, God, search my heart and try my reins. See if there be any wicked thing in me. While I'm pointing the finger at them and them and them and them. They always say when you point the finger at somebody else, there's always one pointing back at you. But if you're not at the point where you can confess your faults to yourself and say, yep, I had my part in that. I had my part. And some of the stuff that I went through, I had my part. Because the guy that raped me, I was in the hotel. What the heck was I doing in the hotel with him? If I hadn't been in the hotel with him, he wouldn't have been able to rape me. What was I doing in the hotel with him? Had no business being there. When you go to the hotel, you know what you're going there for. You're going there to have sex. I wasn't expecting that, but I was in the hotel with him. So at one point in my life, I would tell the story, and I would just tell the story that he raped me. But what was I doing in the hotel with him? I can say that now because I had to face that. I had to face the fact that my little adulterous self was in a hotel. I was married, and he was married. And I'm in a hotel with him. So when I first started telling the story was he raped me. But I never told them where I was at when it happened, why I was there. But anybody know if you go in a hotel with another man, he ain't your husband, you know what you're going there for. You're going there to have sex. And that's what I went there for. But I got much more than I bargained for. Much more than I bargained for. But it was me. Because I didn't have to go to the hotel with him. I could have stayed my fresh behind home. He wouldn't have threatened to kill my kids. So sometimes telling the truth on yourself is scary, but you got to do it, because how you going to get healed? If you don't acknowledge it, how you going to get healed? So yeah, my little fan spot was in the hotel room with him in Germany. He tore me up. He tore me up. From head to toe. He tore me up like it looked like a dog bit me. Like I was just bit up all over my body. I could barely walk. It hurt so bad. But I was there. What was I doing there? Did he have the right to do that? No. But had I not been there, he wouldn't have been able to do it. So sometimes we have to really confront our part in some of the things that happen in order to be healed. I had to confess a lot of stuff in order for me to be healed. I had to confess a lot of stuff. And some of it I didn't want to confess because I wanted God to get the person that did the stuff to me. I wanted God to just get them. I wanted God to just kill my husband's mother. My kid's father, I wanted God to kill his mother because of what she did to me. I wanted God to make my ex-husband miserable because of what he did. I just wanted God to destroy them like what they did destroyed me. I wanted God to get them. And God was like, I'll deal with them, but you deal with you. And I had to deal with the ugly, the raw. I had to deal with that. And God, he can't even start the healing process if you're not going to be real about the situation. And sometimes it's good. It feels good to blame everybody else. Well, you know, they did this and they did that, and that's why I'm doing this and that's why I'm doing that. Child boo. You can't go through life like that. At some point, you just got to surrender and be like, God, okay. I had enough. I had enough. Yes, I did that. I did it. I did that. Yep. My action caused a reaction. I did that. I said this. I did that. I went there. I did this. I did. And it hurt when you got to tell on yourself. It hurt when you got to tell on yourself. But I had to. Because I wanted to be healed. I was tired of hurting. And I really didn't want to die. I didn't want to be under the ground. Ain't nothing under there but some worms. And one day the Lord said, I'll give you beauty for ashes. I'll give you beauty for ashes. And now, things are not perfect in my life, but things are not bad. God never promised us perfect. He never promised us we wasn't going to have problems. God never promised us that. And a lot of times when people go and they say they want to be saved, they want to be born again, people make it seem like your life is just going to be perfect. You're not going to have any problems and things are just going to be so beautiful and you're walking on the clouds and you're not going to have a problem. And that's a lie. But the difference is that if you're really into the Lord and you really keep your mind on Him and you really just allow Him to be God, you allow Him to be your Father, whatever you're going through, you can get through it easier than without Him. So I'm learning that. And even days, you know, I can say that I still have days when I get depressed. Because when I go through this stuff with this lupus and my body hurts so bad, and then a new symptom comes and something else comes, and sometimes I get depressed. And the Lord might give me a few hours. He might give me a few hours. He might give me a day or two. And then he'd be like, enough. Stop. Stop. I have need of you. I need you to pray for this person. I need you to do this. I need you to give a word. Get up, Elijah, and stop it. So that's me. That's me. Here we go again. Yep, 4-point back at you. Yep, fibromyalgia. I got that too. Yep, and Chibi, that's a hurting thing when people tell you to stop pretending. What make you think that I want to pretend to be sick? Where in your psyche, what's wrong with you that make you think I want to pretend to be sick and we grown? They used to tell me that at church. They used to like you. It's not that bad. And then when I had to get a hysterectomy, when I woke up, my pastor at the time was sitting at the foot of my bed, and I woke up. I was like, "What you doing here?" He said, "I just wanted to say I'm sorry because I really didn't believe you." Oh, I had to get my uterus taken out for you to believe me that I wasn't playing. That's what happened. I had to get my uterus taken out. Now you believe me? So I have lupus, fibromyalgia, um, neuropathy, uh, two aneurysms. One, they did something to it. I forgot what they called it. They did something to the one up here, but I still got one in the back of my head. My vision keeps changing. I got glasses last year. I already need a new pair of glasses. Well, I got them. But now it seems like I need another pair because my vision keeps going crazy. I have migraine headaches. I had migraines all my life. My oldest son suffers from migraines. His migraines are debilitating. Mine used to be debilitating when my kids were little. They're bad now, but they're not as bad. But I have these episodes where I almost black out. Like it's not the room is spinning. The room is not spinning at all. But I feel like I'm about to pass out. And for some reason, I've never passed out yet. Thank God. Thank God. But I have ocular migraines where I have sometimes I can't see because the zigzags that go in my eyes like this. And I go through those episodes. And even through all of that, God has a purpose and a plan for my life. He has a purpose and a plan for my life. Because even before the doctor diagnosed me with the aneurysms, God told me I had aneurysms twice. And the doctors kept saying, there's nothing wrong. And then the last time I went to my neurologist, and he told me to walk down the hall. And when I was walking down the hall, I was unstable. And he said, okay, I want you to go get a CAT scan. You got to go get a CAT scan because you're not walking right. I'm like, duh. And that's when they saw the aneurysms. He was like, I see why you going through that. Because of that. So they coiled off this one. Because it was the bigger one. And this one was, what was this, a 2, Gerald? I think this was a 2 back there. And they said they don't want to be bothered with that one because it's so small. So they didn't do anything with that one. But God is good. And I thank God for crafting too, because crafting takes my mind off of a lot of stuff. It really does. Yeah, I get chronic migraines, neuropathy, diabetes. We got diabetes. I said we because my husband too. Oh, you still on there? Good. Diabetes type 2, arthritis. Honestly, my list of medical conditions is a full type page long. Girl, I understand. Oh, that was Gerald that said 4 point back at you. Yup. When you point your finger at somebody, 4 point right back at you. For those of you who tuned in for crafting, I did the crafting earlier. But I guess I had to tell this story. She said, it was worse when I was a young teen. Everyone was like, you're young, you can't be in pain. Since when has pain been reserved for the old? Exactly. When I got my hip before I got my hip replaced, I was going to work and I got off the bus and something had snapped in my hip. And I called my husband crying. I was like, I can't walk, it hurt. I did go to work though, but I couldn't walk. I was a security guard, so I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk around because I was in so much pain. And then I got home and the pain, every time I tried to stand up, the pain, I forgot what they called it. But my bone chipped in my hip. For no reason, it just chipped. It's a condition, I forgot what it's called. But they tried to fix it and it didn't work. Then they tried to give me what was it, Gerald? They tried to give me what's that steroid in your hip? What it's called? I forgot. But they tried to numb it. And he said, the doctor said, when you get home, if this numbing, I forgot what they call it. If it doesn't work, call me and let me know. He said, but it should work. It should work for at least 6 months. No, not the spurs. Those are in my feet. What's it called? I can't think of it. But so the doctor was like, we don't want to did you check the resin to see if any more bubble? Yeah, I did. Yeah, thanks for asking. The doctor said, well, we don't want to do surgery on you because you're too young. That was in 2015. I said, well, so you trying to say you don't want to do the surgery on me, so I have to resign myself to living in a wheelchair because you don't want to do surgery because I'm too young. He said, yeah, we don't want to do it for at least 5 years. I said, so 5 years I'm supposed to be in a wheelchair because you don't want to do the surgery. I said, no, I need you to fix this. My husband was there. He was like, she can't live like this. This thing is hurting her. She can't do that. So he finally relented and said, we'll do the surgery. So I got a full hip replacement in my right hip. I was in the hospital and I can't take narcotics. So imagine what kind of pain I was in. Had the surgery. They took me to therapy. That was December the 16th. I was in the hospital till December the 24th, New Year's Eve. They wanted to keep me for 30 days. And I was like, no, y'all ain't finna do that. We're not doing that. No, ma'am. So I was in the rehab until December the 24th. And I said, listen, I gotta go. They was like, you can't go. Why? Everything y'all told me to do, I exceeded everything they told me to do. I had to walk around the hospital. I did that. I walked around that corridor. It hurt like hell. And I said, I'm not going to be bound to this. Walked around that thing. Went up and down the steps like they told me to. Walk. Listen. I was like, y'all is not going to keep me in here for 30 days. Went home and had therapy at home. I was doing so well. The lady was like, are you sure you need me here? I was like, nope, I don't. So I was like, I'm not having it. So I got a hip replacement. And the doctor told me, well, 5 years, you're going to have another one. And you're going to have to have hip replacement on your left hip. So I said, the devil is a lie. We're not finna do that. We're not finna do that. And so I still have my left hip and I still have my replacement hip. We're not doing that. No, that was torture. Because I can't take narcotics. And I'm glad because I probably would have got addicted to them. So I'm glad I couldn't take the narcotics. But no, you're not going to do that. So, and now I look, I told Ashley, she was on earlier, I told Ashley, I said, I'm so fat right now, I look like I'm transgender. I look like I used to be a man. She said, you stupid. You don't look like you used to be a man. I was like, whatever. Chibi says, luckily I've only had surgery once when I fractured my ankle because a bone shard was in a joint. Wow. But I've been putting off carpal tunnel surgery for years. Might have to give in soon. Well, that's something I don't have. I don't have carpal tunnel. Rhonda has it though. I don't have carpal tunnel. Thank God. I got 99 things. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. No, ma'am. But even with this, all this stuff going on, I'm still glad to be in the land of the living. I'm still glad that even in my madness, God didn't strike me down for acting a fool and blaming him for stuff. So I'm still glad that I'm able to give a testimony and then draw y'all out to give y'all testimony, because you'll never know who's going to look back at this and be like, wow. Even the stuff that Chibi says, you never know who's going to just listen to this and be like, wow, I'm glad I tuned in. So, hey, if this how God wanted, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Yep. So, I got I got 2 more molds coming. I don't know when the other one. The one is, it looks like, they said it's a woman's head, but it don't look like a woman's head at all. So, whenever that comes, I'll let y'all know. And then I got another little head, but it's a small coaster, like these 3. It's a small one, but it's a different type of head, and I like it. So, when that comes, I'll let y'all know about that. But in the meantime, my white lamps, the post office said they delivered them, and they didn't. They said they delivered them to me, then they said they delivered it to a neighbor. So I was going to go to the post office today, but my stomach was hurting so bad I couldn't go anywhere. So I got back in the bed after I poured the first molds. I got back in the bed because I just couldn't do it. But if it's the Lord's will, tomorrow I'm going to the post office and find out where my lamps are. My white ones. But in the meantime, maybe tomorrow I might do a lamp. Maybe I'll do a lamp tomorrow because I got this show coming up that I got to take this stuff to. So I might do that. Yeah, I might do that tomorrow too. Because I do have this show I need to go to. And I need to take as much stuff as possible. So all of the stuff that I've been making, most of it's going with me to the show. Even the little clocks. I'm going to make some more clocks, and I'll do a live with doing the clock molds too. Matter of fact, before I go to bed tonight, I think I will pour that mold, the blue one. I'll finish it, that resin. I'll do that before I go to bed. And then I could have done it all this time. I was running my mouth. Matter of fact, I'll just probably do it in the morning because I'm tired now. I don't feel like doing it. And then I got to turn the fan off because it needs to be warm in here. Then I got to clean this stuff up. And if y'all see the stuff that fell on the floor, y'all be like, y'all, she's sloppy. It fell though. That's all right. I'll get it up. I will get it up. Yep. Thank y'all for listening. And hopefully the next one we won't be on so long, but thank you, Chibi, for interacting, and everybody that's been on here. What time is it? Ooh, I'm going to bed. Good night, y'all. We've been on here since 8:15. It's 11:40. Y'all, psych, let me stop. All right, y'all. Good night. God bless. God bless. Good night, y'all. Wow, I didn't know it was this late, y'all.